अरे मेरे प्यारे बच्चों, I welcome all the students from all over the India. I am your Mohan sir. You are right. We are going to discuss about the real depth and apparent depth. First of all, I welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah, we'll start the class. या हम तुम पिक्चर देख रहे हो किसी के डर के अंदर, तो बिजली चले जाए अंधेरा ही अंधेरा हो, बट सुनो अंधेरा नहीं तुम्हारा ज़िंदगी अंधेरा नहीं होता क्लासेस सुनाने में। सुनाओ, पढ़ाओ, पढ़ो पढ़ो पढ़ो। या रियल डेप्थ एंड आफ्टर डेप्थ। टेक ए कंटेनर, fill it with water. Take a bucket of water, fill it with water, put one coin in it. The coin settles at the bottom of the container. The coin settles at the bottom of the container. Take one container, fill it with water. Now take one coin, let the coin to be settled at the bottom of the container. Coin is there at the bottom of the container, 5 rupees coin. Yeah, when you see from outside, the light ray is traveling from water to air, denser medium to rarer medium. The light ray is traveling from water to air. This is the water level. The water level, from that the light ray is coming out from denser medium to rarer medium. It bends away from normal, and when you see the light ray, you can see the light ray it is bending away from the normal. If you draw one normal at this point, draw the normal, it is making an angle of refraction greater than the angle of incident. Greater than the angle of incident. Now when you observe the coin appears to be raised a little bit higher. The coin appears to be raised a little bit higher. So this is the shift in the position of the coin. This is the shift in the position of the coin. So let me take shift in the position of the coin. Shift is equal to d distance. Some d centimeter distance the coin is been shifted. D centimeter distance the coin is been shifted from the real position to the apparent position. From the real position to the apparent position. Now this is the distance where the coin is placed. It is the real depth. It is the real depth of the coin. So let me take the real depth of the coin is x centimeters from the surface. The apparent position of the coin, if you just observe the apparent position of the coin, this is the apparent position of the coin. Apparent position, apparent depth of the coin. Let me take x dash. X dash is the apparent position of the coin. Real depth is x. Apparent depth of the coin from the surface is x dash, and shifting the position of the coin is d centimeters. Suppose the depth of the water, the real depth of the water is 10 centimeters, and the coin from the surface, the apparent position of the coin from the surface is 8 centimeters, for example. Then what is the shift in the position of the coin? The shift in the position of the coin is 10 minus 8, 2 centimeters. 10 minus 8, 2 centimeters. Here 10 is the real depth and 8 is the apparent depth. So we got the shift in the position of the coin is equal to, that is real depth minus apparent depth. Now if you take the refractive index, the refractive index of water is, let me take mu. Mu is the refractive index of the water. So now we are discussing about the real depth and apparent depth. Apparent depth of the coin. Real depth and apparent depth. Now I am taking the refractive index. Refractive index of the water with respect to the air. Refractive index of the water with respect to the air is equal to, that is real depth by apparent depth. Real depth by apparent depth. What is the real depth I have taken? Real depth is x centimeter. It is x. What is the apparent depth I have taken? X dash. It is taken as x dash. So I have one formula. Refractive index is equal to real depth by apparent depth. Original depth of the coin to the apparent depth of the coin. Now from here, if I take interchange this, apparent depth of the coin is equal to real depth by refractive index of the water. Refractive index of the water, I have taken the second equation. So if you want to calculate the apparent depth by making use of the real depth and refractive index of the water 4/3 value, you will get the apparent position of the coin. Now we know that shift in the coin, shift is equal to, now already I have told you 10 centimeters. Apparent shift is 8 centimeters. 10 minus 8 is 2 centimeters. 2 centimeters is what? It is the shift in the position of the coin. So shift in the position of the coin is 10 centimeter is the real depth minus apparent depth. Now that is the shift in the position of the coin. Shift in the position of the coin. Now shift is equal to, now I am taking shift D is equal to, it is x minus, now put this value over here, now substitute this value over here, x dash. What is x dash? X by mu. X dash is x by mu. X by mu is x dash. Now what is the common term out of this? So shift is equal to, common term is x. 1 minus 1 by mu, refractive index. 1 minus 1 by mu is the refractive index value if you take. So x is what? Real depth. That is the water level, the depth of the water, the complete thickness of the water, complete thickness of the water level. So I can take it as x stands for the total depth of the total real depth, refractive index. Suppose if you wanted to create one problem, you wanted to write one problem over here, I will take the refractive index of the water is 4/3. The real depth of the water is 12 centimeters. So if I wanted to calculate, if x value is 12 centimeters, that is the real depth of the water. And the refractive index of the water is how much? 4/3. It is 4/3 value I have taken. The refractive index of the water is 1.33. That is 4/3 value. Now I wanted to calculate the shift in the position of the coin. D value I want to calculate. D value, find D value. Find D value. So D value, if you wanted to find the D value by making use of this formula, D is equal to, how much here we are writing? X value is how much? 12. 12. X is 12. 1 minus 1 by 4/3. It is 4/3 value. 4/3 value. 3 goes to numerator. When 3 goes to numerator, here it is 12, it is given here. I am taking the real depth as 12. So D value can be calculated as D is equal to 12 into, that is LCM, 3 goes to numerator, 4. So 1 minus 3/4. 1 minus 3/4. I am writing it as 1 minus 3/4. So 1 minus 3/4 is how much? 4 minus 3 is how much? 4 minus 3 is 1. So it will become 1/4. So that the answer, if you calculate 12 into, this is 4 minus 3 is 1/4. 4 minus 3 is 1. 1/4. Then it will cancel here 3 times. So we got the shift in the position of the coil is taken as 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters is the shift in the position of the coil. 3 centimeters. Understand, children? So by making use of these formulas, real depth, apparent depth, shift in the position of the coin, or the thickness of the water level, we can make use of all these formulas for IIT foundation, and we can calculate whatever we want. When the two other variables are given, the third variable can be identified by making use of these formulas. Okay, children, please make a note of it. All of you copy down. Yes, all of you copy down, children.